Hey guys, this is Jason Creel and I'm living the lawn care life. True or false? Lawn care employees are a burden. That's what this video is going to be about. Stay tuned. Hey, today's video is sponsored by Jobber. Jobber is a lawn care software that if you need a software to do your invoicing, your scheduling, to receive payments with a built-in credit card processor, check out Jobber. There'll be a link in the description. And I'm also wanted to tell you that I am partnering with Jobber Academy. Jobber Academy is an extension of Jobber, the brand, where you can find resources like articles and videos. And I'm going to be producing some exclusive videos for Jobber Academy coming up. So check out those links in the description. Okay, lawn care employees are a burden. True or false? Well, let me just state the politically incorrect maybe answer, and that answer is true. Employees are a burden, but I would argue that we're asking the wrong question if we're asking our lawn care business employees a burden. Now, I'm the one that asked the question, so you know, if I ask the wrong question, it's on me. The question to me should be, do lawn care business employees provide more of a benefit than they do a burden? Now that's the question. And the answer to that is, well, it depends on the employee. Some are more of a benefit than they are a burden, and some are much more of a burden than they are a benefit. Obviously, if you have a lot of employees, or even one employee that's more of a burden than they are a benefit, you need new employees. So it's so important and so critical to get the right employees. But I want you to understand that, yeah, employees are a burden, okay? But there's some things we can do to make them less of a burden and make them more of a benefit. All right, so here's a few tips on employees. Number one, if your employees are more of a burden than they are a benefit, then you need to get rid of them. Okay, don't continue on. And this is going to be so important when it comes to hiring employees, how we filter through them and find the right ones. But if you have some that you know are not a good fit, you feel very confident it's not going to change, they're not going to become a good fit, you need to move on. Now, whether you think you can finish out this year, whatever you want to do, but there's no sense in having somebody on your team who is dragging the rest of the team down, even if the rest of the team is just you, okay? So that's number one. Number two, be very selective in who you bring onto your team. Now you say, well, you know, it's hard to find good help. You know, it is hard to find good help. That being said, I think you can do some things. One, I personally try to find people with experience and willing to pay a little bit more to get somebody with experience. But that being said, if you found the right person that you felt like was teachable and that you could train and had a good work ethic, then you could bring that person in. You know, I would probably rather have that person than somebody who's experience and you can't tell them anything because they think they know more than you do. You know, that person is going to be a real problem. Two, I want you to just change your overall mindset about employees. I know there's some people and they have a bad experience with a particular employee. Maybe you started your business by yourself and you built it up and now you've got several employees and you feel like, you know what, I'm not sure I'm making any more money with employees than I was working by myself. I know people have done that. They build the business up. They feel like the expenses, the burden is not worth it, and they actually shrink the company back down and say, you know what, I'd just rather do it myself. I can't talk you out of doing that, but I want to just simply say that eventually, in my opinion, a better route is to try to build this business where you, the owner, can sort of manage it and you have pull yourself away from the labor side of the business. In order to do that, we're going to have to entrust some employees, and that's going to have to have you, the head of the business, start handing off responsibility, start entrusting your employees, start training them so that they can, you know, take on some of the responsibilities of the day in and day out labor, allowing you and freeing you up as the business owner to go do some other stuff like marketing the business, you know, getting more customers. Three, I think having clear expectations from your employee. So this may look like some sort of document you present to them when you hire them that goes over their job description, what's expected of them on a day in, day out basis, what's expected of them. It would be clearly communicated to an employee who is their superior. So let's say that they're a general laborer and you have a a foreman over them, and then you, the owner, over them. So you let them know the chain of command, and who to come to if they have a problem, and let them know daily what are the tasks that's expected of them. Punctuality, of course, drug-free atmosphere and that sort of thing. Just some of the basics of how do you expect the operation to go. So if you don't train them, it's hard to really hold them accountable for not knowing and not performing up to your expectations. So there needs to be some sort of training period, either by you, the owner, or by someone in your company that you can trust. And 4, I would say, pay your employees based on what they're worth. Some employees that you pay $10 an hour, you may think, this person's literally not worth $4 an hour. You need to move on from them. But if you have somebody that's $10 an hour and you think, wow, this person is fantastic, well, pay them more. You don't want to lose that person over a few dollars an hour. I mean, the difference in a good employee and a bad employee is worth a lot more than just a few dollars an hour. So if you're able to structure your company in a way that you can pay them more, try to keep those good employees on with you. And that may look like an end of the year bonus. It may look like an hourly raise. It may look like, we're going to evaluate at the end of the year and see how you did, and based on that, we're going to give you some incentives. It may look like an opportunity to advance in the company. I want to start a second truck next year, and I want you to be in charge of that second truck. So there's opportunities you can give somebody to where they don't feel like they're stuck in a dead-end road. And if you have somebody that you really want to keep, well, make it worth their while and let them know that you really value them as an employee. Let me tell you a couple of types of employees to avoid. One, and these are more generalities, but one I saw, I've had experience with this type of employee, but when I would have a mowing operation and we were, let's say you have a 3-man crew. You got one person with string trimmer, one person on the mower, and one person edging and blowing. Okay, and that was fairly standard, and it went pretty fast, and so whoever got, the one guy edging usually would finish first so he could grab the blower, but whatever needed to be done in that order, it made sense. Well, you have some employees, what they do is, when it's their time on the mower, you know what, they just Mr. Perfectionist. Just, let's take my time. I might need to go over it twice. Let me cut it at 2 different angles to give it this special pattern, and just really detailed and meticulous. But when it came time to do anything else besides sit on the mower, then it was just sloppy and slow, and that to me, that's just unacceptable. And to me, I said, well, there's only one cure for that. If you're not any good using the string trimmer, but you're all of a sudden great on the mower, we need to let you practice more on the string trimmer, okay? Let's just keep practicing. When you get the hang of it, then you can go back to riding the mower some. So I like to rotate people. I didn't want somebody to feel like that I rode the mower all day and they just did all the trimming, and that sort of thing. I like to rotate it. I think that builds a little bit more respect, whether it's you running the crew or a foreman or whatever, but it just, some people's work ethic severely drops when they're not riding the mower. So that's disappointing. Another one is the guy who, the Monday after payday on Friday is late or doesn't show up at all, so it's like, hey, Friday was payday, that means they, drank beer all weekend or whatever, and they don't show up Monday. They're sick, just about every other Monday. This happens to be the Monday after payday. They don't show up. Okay, that's just a real red flag. And like I said, it can be difficult to find good employees in the lawn business, but I think when you find them, you might have to pay them a little bit better to keep them, and we might have to train them up the way we want them. So you may have to bring somebody in that has the character, and be able to train them to become what you want them to be. So anyway, it's a difficult challenge, but employees overall, I just want to change your mindset. Yes, they are a burden, but the benefit many times can outweigh the burden, and I think it's all about how you run your business and how you structure. Hope this helps. Check out the related videos and subscribe to the channel. Thanks a lot.